Okay, this is a workflow introduction to the tool for preparing images for Gaussian splatting. So on your download, if you pick the one with the demo file, then you should get a folder extracted like this. You'll have a README, let's have a look at that. And then the actual file itself, which is the video processor 361. This is the interface. It's very simple. We'll basically drag and drop video onto the top, and then we'll do the splitting of the files below. So this video is just a lat-long video of the area that I wanted to record. So see, it's just walking squarish kind of area over these sort of two houses, just as a small picture. And yeah, not much walks on there, not too many things in the way, greyish day. So you drag the video onto the tool. You can't drag it into the middle, but you can at the bottom and the top. When you drag the video on, it will tell you the duration of video and the resolution. And we've also got extract the frame every nth number of seconds. So if we set this to say 5 seconds and we decide to do 10 frames here, we extract these frames. What we'll see is it will create, based on the video name, a folder. All the file names in there will also be based off the video name. So naming your video for the project is really important. That'll run through, it's extracted 10 of the images out. And you can see, because I've got every 5 seconds, it's doing quite a big jump. Look at where these bins are. And that's probably going to be too much to get good alignment between these clusters of images. So what we'll do is we'll set this down to, say, 0.75 every 3/4 of a second. Now when I hit enter on that, it will switch back to the max frames, so just be aware of that. But it's really, that's for the duration of the video that you want this done. You can extract over an even distribution. So what that would do is it picks the frames across the entire length of the video. Now, if you don't have enough frames, then you could create issues that way where the spacing's out too far. So you can kind of use either method, but I've tended to lean more towards max frames, and that gives me the duration that I want. And then for testing, just put a smaller number in. So if we run this again, and you'll see much smaller spacing and much better. The changes between the features aren't so great that it won't cause a problem, hopefully. Anyway, so now when we've done this, we can go to our splitting. We've got a bunch of presets in there. You've got an overlap that you can turn off, so you can kind of get a sense of what the tiles look like. See, our telephoto one is given its lots. I found the quick preview settings work pretty well off the bat. When you change settings, it will switch this back to custom, and that custom value should persist between videos. The same with anything else. So, what you'll see is if I turn the bottom mask off, this is only going to extract any file, so it won't take too long. So you hit this button down here to start extraction. In the same folder as the video, it creates a split folder, and you can see these are being outputted. Now, because I don't have the bottom mask on, what happens is this supports essentially the technique of holding the camera above your head and then masking that out. So when I launch one of these, you'll see I'm in the picture, which is not what you want really, because that will create a lot of artifacts within the reconstruction. So what we can do is we slide this up till we're fairly happy that it's masking everything out. And if I run this again, you'll also note that we've got RGB in the file name, and then when we turn the masking on, we've got RGBA in the file name as well. We always clear this folder, but you do have the option to not clear the folder out in terms of the still extraction. This is just going to get too painful. And you can see I've now got this circle in here, which is masking me out. Now, if I open this, say, with GIMP, you basically, this is just to show that the RGB of the image is untouched. It just goes into the alpha itself, and that can be quite useful if you wanted to go paint things out, not have it so close, that kind of thing. So under channels, you can see we've got alpha. Turn that off, then it's not destructive. That's kind of okay, so we've done our extraction. We've got all this information here, total number of tiles, etc., how long it took. What we do is we go to realitycapture. I'm just going to do new, just to clear everything out here. Grab all these images, just doing Control A, drag them on. Under the alignment section, you basically hit Align Images. And that does feature detection on the images and then tries to line them up. And also something that's quite useful under Image 2D, the view, you can turn a mask on or off if you want to, just to check that it's in there. And I think it automatically ignores what's in the mask. So again, it just gets a cleaner alignment. So we'll see how many this does. We had 45% overlap. Okay, so all the cameras are aligned here, which is good. What we can do now is if you press down the numeric keypad 2 and then 2 again, it basically will put this into a top-down view. And under alignment and tools, we've got set ground plane. Actually, I'm going to clear out the box just because I don't need it, just to view the point cloud. When you have more images, the point cloud's stronger. So under set ground plane, I'm just going to rotate this around and kind of line the walls. And using F4, 6, etc. will change which views you're in. You can do this if you wanted to do it manually by Scene 3D View and just drop down here, just switch through. So I'm just kind of aligning this up, and this is quite good because it's a little bit painful in Postshot to get this lined up. Good tip: if you drag the mouse away, it gets less sensitive in terms of how far it moves. So that's okay. It's like which is level of the road. Anyway, from the top view, fine with that. So obviously you can save this project. I'm not going to do this for this demo at the moment, just to go back to it. But how we get into Postshot is we will then select the highest component here. Sometimes you get multiple ones, it doesn't online. And then you click on registration. And here you're picking internal, external camera parameters. And this will basically, we're going to save all our files into there. So we've got our split frames, etc. And I'm just going to name it same as there. And then I hit save. These are all the settings we're using here. It's going out to a CSV file basically. And then okay that. And then what we want to do is export out the point cloud, LY. Same location as well. The main thing on this is make sure this is set to ASCII. Don't do that. Okay, so now we've got a point cloud. It's going to set this to a new image, so we're starting from scratch. Go up a folder, and now you see our CSV and point cloud. So what you do is you select LY, the CSV, and all the split images, and you drag them into Postshot. And you'll know this is worked correctly by it says use all images, because it's already coming from that pre-aligned set of data. Then we turn down sample images off, because we split them out to much smaller images, so we don't really lose any quality there. And the other thing is to turn on treat 0 alpha as mask, because that goes back to the masking thing that we saw before. And we're on fairly low steps here, but it's fine. We're just doing this to show that everything worked in terms of the aligned images, realitycapture going into Postshot. You can pause the training and increase the step amount if you need to. If I just turn off the splats themselves, you can see this is where our point cloud alignment is on the grid. So it's quite useful doing it in realitycapture. So it's essentially pre-set up, and you could also measure distance and set your scale in realitycapture as well. Yeah, so you'll see this is starting to solve. For small amounts, of cameras, you get this very bitty, large amount of cameras, you can get very full fine details. It can take a while for it to do training. But usually I would do this to test it, to make sure the alignment's going to work okay. But I'm going to show you one that's finished, where essentially I did the full range. So let me just pause the training. And here's the final result. You can see from our image set, we had 750 cameras. So yeah, if we did the full amount, more. And you can see this came out pretty well for a fairly low-ish res camera. It's only a 5.7K on the Insta1X, which is what this is shot with. And here are the aligned cameras within the scene. What I'll do is just turn to the default camera, and you can see this is where I walked. I did like a little zigzag at the end, just adding some extra frames. And so, yeah, not a lot of cameras, very quick capture, only a minute and a half or something like that. And I think we've got a fairly decent result out of it, fairly clean. And of course, you could increase the amount of clusters used to probably get a better quality out of that. There's obviously fairly low res, didn't want to work on it walking anyone's private property, so I was restricted to road as well. So, one other thing to mention is we have language support as well, so you can actually switch to Chinese, German, French, Japanese, and Spanish, and all of the UI will switch to that language as well. So hopefully you find that useful, and it will persist. So if you close it and then reopen it, it should stay with the same settings that we had previously. It doesn't remember the video path because I think it would be easy to overwrite things if we weren't careful, so I've kept that clear during the restart. Yeah, so that's a demo.